Be scared over there, Lon Yen. We see you. We see you. You had to come in, but you came with a different name this morning. Think I don't be paying attention to the chat? I pay attention to everything. Hope you guys had a fantastic evening, because I know I did. God got me up this morning bright and early, ready to do another thing, and that's what? Boom, 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 boom. Bang at this nail to get it right. Ha! That's what we're going to do right now. Trump, Clinton subpoenaed in Epstein probe. Will they plead the fifth? That's what I said. The Clintons, they have been subpoenaed in the Epstein probe. Will they plead the fifth? I don't know. I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Think that's what they're going to do, y'all. Everybody come on up in the building. Let's get it stacked up. Y'all know what we're doing right now, right? We got to wait for this guy right here. Hope everybody had a fantastic evening. Like I said, I know I did. It's Monday, my favorite day. So without any further ado, what I bring to you is what I made for you. Great sequence of videos. We're going to stack up tariffs. We got a lot going on with the news. Let's do it. I'm ready to go. Bling, bling, bling. It's time to start the show. Bling, bling, bling. They're ready to go. Bling, bling, bling. Let's get it popping, yo, 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 yo. Bling, bling, bling. Bling, bling, bling. I know it's 6 o'clock. Bling, bling, bling. Let's get it off the top. Bling, bling, bling. It's time to make it hot. Maybe y'all can help me out. Come on, blow on it. Yeah. One more time. And we got the new suit, so we ain't got to worry about the buttons and unloosening everything, y'all. We ain't got to worry about that. But you know what we got to worry about? She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's the kind of, I can't sing good, friend in need. Yeah, she's a gold digger way over town that digs on me. She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's the type of I be having to get myself hyped up in the morning. Y'all know why? Because if bump that beat. It's Monday, August 11th. That's right, y'all. 2025. I'm your boy Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me lit. That's right, y'all. We made it another Monday. Let me tell y'all how we do it over on our bottom line. We don't worry about weekends. We not weekend warriors. We love to make it to the next week just to make sure that we get to the other end of the start point, whatever you guys want to call it, the end of the finish line. I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of hyped up right now. I can't even play. I got so much stuff lined up in the deck for you guys today. And like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that y'all came here to chill with me, I'm going to make it worth it, because y'all could have went anywhere. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Let's see who we got up in the building. We got Lon Yen up in the building. That is, of course, Rebecca Lon Yen Bueno, tapping in from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's right, you guys. We also have Daniel Castro, who already showed some love with the super chat for $2. Thank you so much. Yes, for the singing lessons. Please, you guys, if you guys want to donate for the singing in the arms of the angels, you can donate right now. Fly away to the Bugatti singing lessons fund. That was a good one, Roberto. I appreciate that. But guess what? I don't care if I can't sing good. You know why? Because my heart is beating and God got me up this morning. He's got me up another day, so I can't even play around. I'm so happy right now. I could run out in the street and just sing to everybody. And I know my voice is terrible, but guess what we got to do? I got a fully loaded clip. And guess what? We got a lot to get into today. I'm not playing right now. We're going to be talking about tariffs. We've got the Epstein files. We've got Russiagate, Russia. We've got, oh my God, we've got a lot going on in local news. We've got a lot going on overseas. So without any further ado, I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to leave it all on the field. All I need you guys to do is do me a favor and stay on point, and we're going to tear it down this morning. Y'all going to have something to take to work with y'all in your hand today. Let's get it popping. I'm telling y'all right now, because what we have in this title right now, what do we have? We have Trump, Clinton subpoenaed in the Epstein probe. Will they plead the fifth? Because yes, they're saying that both of them, Bill Clinton as well as Hillary Rodham Clinton, will have to come and testify. What do you guys think they're going to do? Do you think that they're going to testify, or do you think they're going to plead the That's right, the fifth. Let's keep on moving, guys. What else we got? We got the Supreme Court lets Trump end the humanitarian parole for over 500,000 immigrants. That's right, Haitians, Venezuelans, Guatemalans who are here under the TPS Protection Act. That is no longer the Trump put in for it, and I'm so sorry. But it's over now. So unless you try to get one more, I think there's one more opportunity that you can probably file for. And that's about it, because they're cracking down right now. Let's get into the last one. Last but not least, we have, again, another juvenile that's arrested after firing pow-pows at another kid in a District of Columbia Navy Yard. And boy, was that clip crazy. They got a lot of activity going into it, you guys. It's Monday morning. We made it. Glad that you guys all could be here. Guess what? I got 5 on it. I'm going to stack these clips 5 at a time. And yes, we're going to get to where you guys want to get to. I know you want to get to the Epstein files, but guess what we're going to do? We're going to get all that other news out of the way so that you guys can be fully informed of what everything is going on. So let's get to it. Without any further ado, let's go. Because the host, basically stunned by Trump's answer when he was being brutally honest, and when he asked the question about Hillary Clinton. And check this out, you guys. Let me get this audio together, make sure we're up on that. And again, let me know where you're chiming in from, what time it is, because I love to know that. And yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get to it.
New emails, Mr. President, suggest essentially that Hillary Clinton personally approved the Russia hoax.
With Obama.
With Barack Obama. And my question is she finally going to pay for what she did?
Guys, I'm off the grid for August, and here's Donald Trump doing what Donald Trump does.
These new emails, Mr. President, suggest essentially that Hillary Clinton personally approved the Russia hoax.
With Obama.
With Barack Obama. And my question is she finally going to pay for what she did, or does she get a pass again?
So, we had her, and I had her right under the sights, and I told the people, look, you can't do this to a president's wife, an ex-president, and she was Secretary of State, but you can't do this to the wife of a president. And if you remember, I'll tell you how I feel about it in a sec. If you remember, I was at a rally, and it was after the election, and they said, lock her up, and I said, no, look, we won, just relax. And I didn't do what other people would have done, what they would have done. And then they went after me, and they meant it. I said, it's amazing. I always felt that you shouldn't be doing this stuff. And I let Hillary off the hook. I totally left her off the hook. And then I let her off the hook for what? And then I come in, and they did the same thing to me. The difference is they actually meant it. And they hurt a lot of people, and it was all a hoax. And now they have it in black and white. No, I think they should pay a price.
How directly?
By the way, it's a very big price.
And yes, like I said, they've been subpoenaed. So what's going to happen? Do you think that the Clintons will probably get, let's say if they do get subpoenaed, will they go? Will they plead the fifth? What's going to happen with them? Because they already got subpoenaed, y'all. Check this out.
Welcome back. Vice President J.D. Vance moments ago applauding the House Oversight Committee's subpoenas to former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, along with 8 others. The Oversight Committee also continuing its investigation into Joe Biden's mental fitness and the use of the auto pen during Biden's presidency. Former Biden senior advisor Anita Dunn testified last Thursday, telling the committee that Biden's inner circle came to the conclusion that he should not take a cognitive test, even though she said they all felt that, oh, he would pass one easily. Earlier in the week, a former Biden Deputy Chief of Staff, Bruce Reed, told the committee ex-White House doctor Kevin O'Connor dismissed cognitive tests as, quote, meaningless. Joining me now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive is the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Kentucky Congressman James Comer. Mr. Chairman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
I want to first talk about these subpoenas to Hillary and Bill Clinton. When are you expecting them to come in to testify under oath?
We've asked them to come in October. We've given them specific dates. What makes these subpoenas special and historical is that they came as a result of a bipartisan vote. The Democrats made a motion, like we knew they would, to subpoena the Epstein documents, which Republicans support. Scott Perry from Pennsylvania amended that motion to include subpoenas for both Bill and Hillary Clinton, as well as 6 former attorneys generals, and the Democrats voted for it. Now they're scared and trying to say they didn't vote for it, but they did. It's on record, and that helps us in court. If the Clintons try to fight this subpoena, which we presume they will, this subpoena came as a result of a bipartisan vote, which has never happened before in the House Oversight Committee. So we're looking forward to hearing from the Clintons. The American people want to know what went on Epstein Island. We know Clinton went there many times. We just want to ask Bill Clinton what he saw when he was there, and who all was involved.
Dum, 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 dum. Y'all about to get what y'all want. Y'all about to get what y'all want. What are you going to do after you get the files? That's what I want to know. What's going to happen after we get these files? Let's keep on moving forward, because yes, the Supreme Court lets Trump end the humanitarian parole for over 500,000 immigrants. Woo! They need to start singing that song again right now, because it's going down. Feel sorry for a lot of people, but yes, let them explain what's happening in Miami. Let's get over there. Miami, step to the front of the stage, please.
The U.S. Supreme Court today authorized the end of humanitarian parole for 500,000 migrants. The court sided with the Trump administration, leaving Venezuelans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Cubans at risk of deportation. Here in South Florida, some immigrants are being detained at federal immigration courts for expedited removal. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is live from Miami with reaction tonight. Yvonne?
Yes, definitely a very difficult day for many families in South Florida, Lauren. We're going to start with a story of a Dominican woman who says that a federal judge told her that her nephew did not qualify for political asylum. So as they were leaving court, she says ICE agents detained him. And tonight, they don't know where he is.
That's unfair. This is unfair. I'm so sorry. I can't talk. I don't know how I'm going to say that to my mom. My mom has a hard time.
Judelka Mejia cannot believe she's going back home without her nephew, 29-year-old Yasael Almonte Mejia.
This means today from her asylum that we applied, then we could go to the group and we explain all the situation that happened in DR.
And like many other immigrants, when their case is dismissed, they are detained at the hallway before leaving the building by immigration agents dressed as civilians.
Got him, y'all. They're going out.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal. In Washington, this Friday, the U.S. Supreme Court sided with the Trump administration to end a program created in 2023.
The humanitarian parole is over.
Willie Allen, who has been an immigration attorney in South Florida for over 4 decades, told us he is not surprised to see this outcome.
When president creates an executive action, the next president can eliminate. Still, the least affected are going to be the Cubans, who can still apply for Cuban adjustment.
The news caused me anxiety, and once again, we are wondering what's going to happen. Eduardo Villaverde is one of the 500,000 people who came to the U.S. through the humanitarian parole, a program the Biden administration used to reduce the number of illegal entries and accommodate migrants fleeing countries in critical situations.
Yep. So that's what's going on, you guys. You know, we don't go that far over 2 minutes. We went 2:29 right there. Just wanted you guys to get the information there and basically know what's going on because we got a lot to cover. And you guys in the comments, you guys are really funny, you know, making all of those laughing faces and stuff like that. Like, come on now. Like, it's not funny to everybody, you know? You know, y'all shouldn't be like that. We got to keep on moving forward, right? I can't have any sort of feelings towards things like that. So we got to keep on moving forward because the statute of limitations are unlikely to impact the investigation of the prosecution into Russiagate when it comes down to certain individuals. Just to let you guys know, they're not going to be able to do anything to Barack Obama if they find anything of his involvement because he was the president at the time that happened. Just so you guys know that. Let's keep on moving forward.
Named last week to investigate evidence disclosed about the Russia collusion hoax, with a look at next legal steps as we continue to search for accountability for the biggest political scandal of our time. And after a bombshell week with DNI Tulsi Gabbard disclosing something this audience has suspected for a long time, that President Barack Obama may have been pulling the strings after Trump won in the November 2016 election, pushing a plan to muddy up the incoming president's name and handicap his new administration with a phony story about Russia. This past week, DNA Gabbard sent criminal referrals to the Department of Justice, and the DOJ announced the formation of that strike force to evaluate the evidence presented. Coming up, the timeline to destroying Trump's reputation with the two men who saw it coming from day one, while exposing the Russia collusion with Trump made-up fantasy concocted by Hillary Clinton and her 2016 presidential campaign. CIA Director John Ratcliffe and Trump Media and Telecom CEO Devin Nunes are here. Just days after Director of National Intelligence Gabbard declassified the House Intelligence Committee report prepared in 2020 based on then Congressman Nunes's investigation that the intelligence community did not have any direct information or evidence that Russian President Putin wanted to help elect Donald Trump in 2016. Despite the assessment repeatedly listed in the daily presidential briefing, then President Obama ordered a new report which completely contradicted the original assessment. Here's DNI Tulsi with me here exclusively last Sunday.
The tasks that came out of that meeting was coming from President Obama directing the intelligence community, then Obama's ODNI director Clapper, to produce a document, to produce an intelligence assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow affected the outcome of the election that had already occurred, electing Donald Trump to the presidency. This document that they published in January of 2017.
CIA Director
Tulsi Gabbard up out here like Storm from the X-Men with the white streak in her hair, like coming through like a superhero. Shoom! I found all of the files out here. Yeah, that's Tulsi. She ain't no joke, y'all. She ain't no joke. We got to keep on moving forward. She got the little bomb going over there with the layers coming down over there. Like, yes, I am not playing because when I got the files and this is, yeah, man, we got a lot coming out. I know you guys want the Epstein files. I know you do, but there's so much else. There's so much other stuff going on in the world. Let's get on over to New York. New York. No, let's do this one. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hills, top of the... That's the one we're going to use because I'm better with that one, right? Y'all don't like when I try to do the Alicia Keys song. New York, New York. That's right. Now we're about to close the last of the migrant hotels. You guys that's been laughing in the comments about this stuff, don't laugh. It's not funny. You know, don't laugh. They're closing the last migrant hotel. They've probably spent up to about, I forgot the amount, I would say maybe $5 million a month for about 2-3 years. That's how much was spent.
Shut down its last controversial migrant hotel in the coming months. The Row NYC was remodeled into a migrant shelter back in October of 2022 to address the overwhelming influx of migrants coming to the city. Mayor Eric Adams confirming the closure, calling it a, quote, major milestone. News Nation's Marcus Espinoza is live in Manhattan, right outside the migrant hotel there. Marcus, walk us through the closure and exactly what led to it, if you can.
Hey, Anna, good morning. Yeah, those pictures you showed there, very different image this morning behind me here. It was the first hotel converted in the city back in 2022 to handle that migrant surge. I'm just going to step out so we can take a look at it here. Not the case anymore. It is now going to be the last one to close as it is now being shut down for that purpose there. The Midtown Hotel behind me served as an emergency shelter for thousands of asylum seekers since the city's shelter system hit a breaking point. Mayor Eric Adams saying New York City has helped more than 200,000 migrants move out of shelters and towards self-sufficiency. The timing reflecting a broader trend across the country. Arrivals have dropped sharply due to the immigration policies of the Trump administration. They're putting into place here in New York, from about 4,000 per week at the height of the crisis to around 100 per week. Earlier this summer, the city closed its intake center at the Roosevelt Hotel and all tent facilities. Row NYC's contract, costing more than $5 million a month, expires in April and will not be renewed. That deal has already generated more than a whopping $170 million for the hotel since 2022.
Now, what if we would have took all that money and put that towards homeless people that lived in New York, or homeless veterans that's sitting out there on the sidewalk that was getting laughed at? Because as all of those people, y'all feel sorry for them, right? I don't. I was down there walking by the people as they was laughing at the veterans that was outside talking about, ha ha, they taking care of us and you guys not getting nothing. Stepping over them and going inside the Row Hotel. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine it. For real talk. And then the other guys that's out there with the strollers on the side, right? And then the girls is out there with the makeup and everything like that, trying to entice you. And you looking, you like, you walking to work or whatever like that. And she's like, and her husband is right there, like, yeah, go ahead. And you like, what? Right in New York? Yes, it was going down. It was crazy in front of that hotel. I'm not playing. We got to keep on moving forward right now because this juvenile was arrested after firing pows at other kids in this DC Navy Yard. I don't just stay one place. We about to go to whole other countries and all types of situations. And yes, we're going to get to what you guys are here for, because I know what you're here for. Let's go. So now you hear a girl screaming out, don't pow back. Like, because so many people are running, she's trying to inform people, please don't pow back, because people are actually running from that direction. It's crazy. So this happened in DC. Juvenile, like I said, pow. Can't say the words, they can. And they're going after to try to apprehend this guy. But this is what's happening now all over. Can't just say New York, can't just say Los Angeles, can't just say Atlanta. It's everywhere, especially when it's hot in the summertime, nighttime, it turns up. That's what they call it, turn up. We outside, and look what they're doing. Found the pow right there. That's the pow right there.
They arrested someone. He's in the car behind me. Very quick response here by transit, metro, and some federal assets.
Good job.
So we're down.
How many people actually saw that movie? A lot of people don't like that Will Smith movie. I actually like Hancock. Good job. I actually like Hancock. Come on, tell the truth. Hancock was a good movie. We got to keep on moving forward, though, y'all, because now we got to get over to Melvindale, where these officers are facing multiple misconduct charges for assaulting and battery. They're calling him unhinged. A police lieutenant is charged criminally. And they're saying that finally, because he actually was charged before. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. Let's get into this clip real quick. Let's go, y'all.
A police officer accused of misconduct on the job again.
In fact, he's been accused of aggressive behavior 3 separate times dating back to 2021, but somehow he was always reinstated. Fox News' Dave Kinchin here with what he's accused of this time. Dave.
Well, we can tell you there's not a lot of talk coming from Melvindale officials tonight. The mayor of Melvindale says there's no comment at this time. And the police administration says the same as they got word of the charges. And now this process is taking its pathway forward.
Very slow. Very
Troubled
slow.
Melvindale police officer Lieutenant Matthew Furman now facing misconduct charges in 3 separate cases. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says in July 2024, Furman tased a man twice and kicked him after pulling him over for improper plates. April of 2024, prosecutors allege Furman tased a mother in front of her kids after failing to get her out of a car when she refused to show her ID. And in July of 2021, prosecutors say he kicked a handcuffed suspect multiple times after investigators say they fled a traffic stop.
I was surprised that criminal charges were filed. I'm aware of the disciplinary process in Melvindale. They've actually reached out.
Remember, he said this. He's surprised that criminal charges were filed. Y'all stick around for this. This is gonna get crazy. Watch.
To me, asked me for my opinion on this.
Retired Detroit Police Assistant Chief Steve Dolan says he'll be involved in a disciplinary process with a lot to sort out.
In a criminal case, they wait till the criminal case is done. And if he's found guilty, he's going to lose the MCOL certification anyway. He'll appeal. And then they also have a disciplinary process, at which point who's ever in charge would write up the charges. They go in front of a board, and it's yay or nay, and you present witnesses. And you're found guilty or not guilty. It goes anywhere from a verbal reprimand to dismissal, which, it's my understanding, he's been dismissed at least once.
And brought back to the job through the arbitration process, despite past complaints.
There used to be an old saying that if you've never been sued, you've never been a cop. Okay. Excessive force is different.
This has been going on for, it looks like, 3 or 4 years, and I'm curious as to why there hasn't been some action taken in advance.
All right, so they're not actually, this is the reason why right here, that they're stepping up and they're actually moving fast with this case right here. Because guess what they have that they never had back in the day? They have body cam. And this is the body cam footage of him in action doing one of those crimes. Check this out.
You will not get up without our permission.
Man, I got
sit the down.
I am sitting.
You will not get up without our permission.
Man, I got
sit the down.
I am sitting down. You pulling my hair.
As you'll see in this video, this man is the instantiation of everything that is wrong with police. He has a God complex, and he thinks he's the second coming of Jesus.
So yeah, that was the Melvindale buddy right there talking about kicks. That looked a little more than kicks to me. That looked a little more like thrust with a knee up against the car. I mean, the afro pulling to the back, that's a little whatever because it's hitting the back of his hand. But you still didn't even have to do that. What's all that roughness for, buddy? Yeah, hopefully he gets locked up. But sad part is they're gonna let him out because you heard the process. Oh yeah, he's gonna go before a board. They're gonna write it up. Then they're gonna look at it. Yeah, okay, whatever the case may be. That's why people don't like police, stuff like that. We gotta get on over to Detroit now because 4 people has been still nabbed in the Detroit pool party, and 2 of them are no longer here. Come on, Detroit. Yep, y'all gotta be responsible for your actions. There's other stuff going on in Detroit, but I'm gonna tell you, I gotta report the stuff that's at the top of the heap right now, and this is what's happening. Sorry.
We've got breaking news on your Sunday morning. Police are trying to find a person of We've got breaking news on your Sunday morning. Police are trying to find a person of interest after 4 people were stabbed. Police say this started from an argument at a pool party. It happened just before 10 o'clock last night. So what we found out when police did arrive, they found 4 victims. 2 of them were stabbed to death. Another is in critical. 1 is stable. We are working this story, talking to some of our sources to get more information. This is a map of where we believe this incident happened near East 7 Mile and Fleming Road. Again, 4 people stabbed at a pool party. 2 of them stabbed to death. We had heard earlier this week Chief Bedison talking about the concern about the violence in our city and how things were going to be stepped up in terms of protection. We expect to hear more from Detroit police later on this morning. Of course, we will keep you updated on air and online at clickondetroit.com. Again.
And then they're going to ask for a whole bunch of information. Anybody that got information, please call 977-TIPS, this and that, whatever, because you know when we are Sanctuary City, we are ATF, not alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They're after the fact. That's right. Asking, running around like Keystone cops, throwing the wrong people up against the wall, talking about, get over here. Fool, we called you. That's what's going on right now. And that's why we got this nonsense happening. What about patrol? What about really doing some stuff about what's happening out here? And a lot of people are leaving now when it comes down to our police. They're leaving and are actually getting up out of here because they're expecting Mom Dami to come aboard and become the mayor anyway. So what they're sticking around for anyway, if they're talking about getting rid of the police. I'm getting out of here too. You think I'm not trying to be hanging around in New York with no police talking about sending over a social worker. Hey, so what's going on over here? Pow, pow. Oh my God, where's the cops? Yeah, that's what's going to be happening. Let's keep on moving forward right now because Trump's reportedly considers inviting Zelensky to a Putin meeting that they're supposed to be having in I think this is Alaska or something like that. Check this out, y'all. Let's get into this right here.
Speaking of Donald Trump, the White House is reportedly considering inviting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to Trump's face-to-face meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin.
What if they had a straight up fight? Like, yo, you know what? Forget the war, man. Like, what's popping, yo? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Trump, back up, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let's fight it out right now. What's popping? You know what I'm saying? And whoever win, that's who won the war. Imagine that. Boop, bap, boop, bap.
This Friday in hopes of bringing an end to the war.
Fight will be better.
Madeline Rivera joins us live from Washington with the latest. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. Senior U.S. officials tell NBC.
Now, I got to do it because she looks like something straight out of Family Guy. Now I'm going to just leave it alone. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop it no more.
News, they are talking about the possibility of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky coming to Alaska, where this meeting between the president and Putin is being held. No visit, though, has been finalized, so it's unclear if Zelensky is actually attending or whether he and Putin will even be in the same room if he does attend. A White House official says the president remains open to a trilateral summit with both leaders. Right now, the White House is planning the bilateral meeting requested by President Putin. Zelensky maintained on Saturday that there will be no peace agreement without Ukraine's input. He also says Ukraine won't be ceding land to Russia, a notable position given that Russia reportedly wants to keep large portions of Ukrainian land as part of a truce. Zelensky says on X, I have not heard any partners express doubts about America's ability to ensure that the war ends. The president of the United States has the leverage and the determination. What is needed now is not a pause in the killings, but a real lasting peace, not a ceasefire sometime in the future in months, but immediately. President Trump told me so, and I fully support it. Meantime, Vice President J.D. Vance is holding diplomatic talks in the UK as well. A U.S. official tells Axios Vance's conversation with British, Ukrainian reps, and European allies over the weekend made significant progress towards the goal of ending the war.
Boom, that's enough. We got enough. That's right. We don't want to keep on these boring topics, even though people want to hear about it. I try to get as much excitement going on before we get into stuff like that. But there are people here that want to know about it. So we're going to keep on moving forward. Let's go. What else we got? We got Trump that's pushing for a new census. Yes, the census comes what, once every 10 years, every decade. So, but basically, he's breaking into that, saying, you know what, we got to do a new census, and we need to exclude non-citizens. That's right, illegal immigrants. He wants to make sure that they're excluded out of the census. Do you guys think that makes any sense? What do you guys think about excluding immigrants from the census?
Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Trump on Thursday instructing the Commerce Department to have the Census Bureau start work on a new census that would exclude immigrants who are in the United States illegally. The census, which usually happens once a decade at the top of the decade, determines regional political power and federal spending. This is what President Trump sent out on social media earlier this week. He says, I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on modern day facts and figures and, importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. People who are in our country illegally will not be counted in the census. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I see people in the comments saying that they agree with this if they're not supposed to be here legally. I see somebody else saying that they're about to implement. How do you see that, Bugatti? What's this thing about a curfew that they're talking about implementing? Also, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. What are you guys talking about? A curfew that's about to be implemented in DC? I have not heard about that. But guess what? I'm going to look into it because that's something that we need to know about. Did you guys hear about that woman that was beat down by the mob, and she speaks out after a near Dill's Neff attack? I don't like saying those words. I let them say it. But I heard many sides to this story where it's just this side is one side that I've heard, but I've also heard the other side of the story too, about the beat down in Cincinnati. Let's get into it, y'all.
Sources telling Fox 19 that Trisha Mack Devon is the woman in the white bodysuit seen on the video stomping and kicking.
The one that got her weave pulled off, and then all of a sudden you saw the Esther pop back. Y'all saw that, right? When she got grabbed, her whole weave came off. They thought that no disrespect, but that was a white person that grabbed that girl's hair. Because black people know, what are you grabbing that girl hair for? Ain't gonna do nothing but come off like a lizard tail. Come on, let's keep on moving, y'all. Let's go.
19 that Trisha Mack Devon is the woman in the white bodysuit seen on the video stomping and kicking the man in the white shirt and punching my next guest, Holly, before she was knocked unconscious by a man.
Wow. Now watch the lizard tail pop off. And that was just a joke, y'all. It was just a joke. Nothing racial. Watch the ooh, my, that's too much, man. What did they do? I'm not, ooh, and the dude punched the lady and knocked her out. And the other people scared to help
Trisha Mackey is the Fox 19 reporter there, and Devon strutted into court today for her first appearance, and it almost looked as if she was trying to hide a smile.
She's 26 years old. She's a Cincinnati native, has a 6-year-old daughter that resides with her and relies on her for care. Asking the court to set it.
She says that she has a severe concussion and bruising all over her body, and sometimes her pain level remains at 9.
Terrible situation, you guys. Like something like that, I don't condone it. I do not like to see fights and stuff like that. When I was a kid, maybe, and then what was that? What it used to be? World Star. Like back in the day, that was cool. But when you get older, I don't like to see people get hurt. I'm just different now. Yeah, let's keep on moving forward because we got to get over to this pediatrician that's been accused of illing a 4-year-old. I know you guys don't want to hear about this story, but we got to get stories like this out. A pediatrician, and they're saying that this was her daughter. She was arrested by the U.S. Marshals, and they came a knocking. They was not playing when they came to get her. This is what I think should happen to everybody that harms children. Give them a round of applause.
Neha Gupta, come to the front door. Do it now. For U.S. Marshals, we have a warrant for your arrest. Come to the front door. Do it now.
Body cam video shows the arrest of a doctor in Oklahoma, wanted for allegedly killing her daughter in Florida.
Hands.
Yeah.
Contact.
Come out of there. Come out of there.
After searching the house for about 5 minutes, U.S. Marshals found Dr. Neha Gupta hiding in a small room. She was taken into custody and extradited to Florida, where officials say she caused the death of her 4-year-old daughter, who they found in the pool of a rental home. Gupta appeared in a Miami-Dade County courtroom where the judge said there was probable cause for the charges.
The defendant, Ms. Gupta, said they had a nice dinner, put her to bed. In the meantime, when they do an autopsy, there's no food in her stomach to indicate she had that nice dinner, and her lungs were dry, indicating she did not drown.
Gupta's attorney said in court the charges are a rush to judgment. Gupta is charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and is being held without bond.
Good. Drag her. Because, yeah, autopsy showed a lot. That was crazy right there. They need to drag her. We're going to follow up with that story, and we're also going to pray for the life that was lost and the terrible, tragic event that we just saw, you guys. We hate to see things like that, but we have to go through it so that we can put people like that on blast. We want to give strength and resolve to the family members as well as the friends and people that were involved in this situation. And we ask that you let that beautiful soul into heaven. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. That was terrible situation right there. If you guys appreciate the content, let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. Also, let more people know that we're over here. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, it's a great time to do so. Become a member, please. I'm trying to get those numbers up, trying to hit 50,000. So many people in here. We can get 1,000. Come on, people. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And also hit that notification bell so that you know when we're on, which is mostly 6 6 o'clock every day. We're going to keep on moving forward. But yes, I really would like for you guys to double tap that screen. And I understand that it's hot out here for a pimp. So you know what I'm saying? I can get my own Starbucks, and I got a little bit of coffee in the kitchen. I think somebody just gave me $1 or $2 so I can put some ice with some water and shake it up in a cup and get something to drink. So I'll be all right with that. But what we really want you to do is get those likes up, because what that does, again, it sends up a notification and many more people get over here trying to really get this channel recognized for what it is, the #1 channel on YouTube between 6 o'clock and 7 until we finish. Now we got this man who was fleeing the FBI, and he did something. I don't know if he thought he was Superman or Spider-Man, but he jumped from 14 flights in a high-rise in Alexandria, and no, he did not make it. Terrible, tragic event that happened. Sometimes it's worth, just go ahead and let them take you, man, because if you're going to have to lose your life, you might as well let them take you.
Dead after jumping from the 15th floor of a high-rise in Northern Virginia. Officials say that it happened after FBI agents tried to serve him an arrest warrant. It happened on King Street about 6 o'clock this morning. A man died at the scene. News 4's Drew Wilder has the latest on the investigation.
Earlier this morning, News 4 spoke off camera with a guy who says he was asleep this morning in his apartment on the 14th floor of this high-rise on King Street in Alexandria. He says he was woken up by hearing a bunch of banging on what sounded like the unit above him. He heard FBI, FBI. Then he heard footsteps running across his ceiling, and then he heard someone shout, "No, don't." He says he went to his balcony. He looked out, looked down, saw a man on the ground 14 stories below. Then he says looked up, and he says on the 15th floor balcony, he saw FBI agents peering down, looking at a man who FBI says had just jumped off of a balcony. FBI agents told us earlier this morning that they came to this apartment building at about 6:30 this morning to serve an arrest warrant. They say they found the subject inside the 15th-story apartment building, and when they approached that subject, they say he took off running, jumped off the balcony, and when he made contact with the ground, he was killed.
Of course.
As of right now, they still have not released the name of the person they were serving that arrest warrant on. They say first they need to notify next of kin, and then the Alexandria Police Department will conduct a death investigation before the name is released. As for what that subject was being arrested for, the FBI says the arrest warrant is under seal and they cannot disclose that information right now. As you can see, traffic has opened back up on King Street, but this investigation will continue at least for the next couple of days.
I'm going to keep you guys posted on that in Alexandria, because that's pretty crazy. Was he smoking a pipe when they was chasing him or something like that? But they did say it was under seal, so that case must be something serious. We're getting there, you guys. Be patient. We're getting to the Epstein files. I promise you. I promise you. But first, we got to get to this cyclist that's fighting off a kidnapper. I'm sorry, I almost got in trouble saying that. Let me say something else. Apples, orange juice. Yeah, I'm gonna say something different. We got this cyclist who is fighting off a kills-nils napper and attempted in Richland County. This is pretty crazy right here. I wanna ask you guys to do me a favor. Any children, if you're watching me on the television right now, you might wanna move them away because it's pretty crazy right now. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to do that. This is a bad situation right here with some graphic content. So let's go. Okay, I warned you already. We're moving the mouse. We're going over there. We're about to hit it. Y'all ready? Open up the screen. Let's go.
Here in Richland County tonight, the sheriff warning residents of the release of a man who was arrested on charges of kidnapping a local woman. Our Shelley Garzone has the story. And we do want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see could be graphic.
Could be.
My eyes, she's a hero. She's somebody that, I think most women need to look at, that didn't give up and fought for her safety in her life. And she's hurt, but she's alive.
This was the aftermath of a recent attack on a Columbia woman on Miles Road. Investigators say the victim was riding her bicycle when a vehicle hit her. The driver of the vehicle then turned around and came back to where she was lying in the road. According to deputies, the suspect, 24-year-old Timothy Yolness, got out of the vehicle and hit the woman in the face before placing her in a chokehold. They say he then tried to drag her into his vehicle, but the victim fought back and got away.
He's hit by a car,
he's a danger to our community.
Punched in the face.
I would hope everybody in the Columbia area looks at his picture and recognizes who he is and understands that he's dangerous.
Yolnus was released on a $100,000 surety bond. He must also wear an ankle monitor, something the sheriff does not agree with.
And that's one thing that we asked for when our investigators worked this case and talked to the judge who set the bond, is that he was a danger. We explained all of that, and we asked that he be held with no bond.
Remember yesterday, Janine Pirro said that DC is like that? Look at what happened to this lady. He got a bond.
Unfortunately, $100,000 bond was set on him. He immediately got out.
He paid
With many residents questioning how someone can be released after a crime of this nature, I sat down with attorney Jack Swerling to explain the factors of setting a bond.
Danger to the community and a risk of flight are the big factors. Prior record is a big factor, and the nature of the crime itself.
Swerling says the use of GPS ankle monitors has become more common to ensure someone released is staying in the area and away from victims.
The basis of the revocation of the bond is that when you sign a bond, you're agreeing to keep the peace.
So what?
You're agreeing not to be rearrested. So if you get rearrested, there's a good chance that a judge is going to revoke your earlier bond.
This is stupid. I don't care about none of that nonsense that you guys are talking about. That man need to stay in prison and he need to get time, a lot of jail time. How many people in the comments agree with me that he needs to be in prison right now with maybe like a $1 million bail, very high? Thumbs up if y'all think he should be in jail. Thumbs down if y'all think that they did right. Thumbs up if you think he should be in jail. Thumbs down if you guys, you guys think that they did. Yeah, thumbs up for jail, down if he did right. Up for jail, up for jail, up for jail. That's right, up to being, he needs to be locked up. He needs to be locked up, straight up and down. Somebody wrote bomb. Okay, hope he ain't talking about me because I'm trying my best over here. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. All of y'all, that's why I love my chat. Look at this, look at my co-host. You guys are so focused, it's not even a game. Thank you so much. Now, who was this man that they called Jeffrey Epstein? The actual abuser of teens. Many girls are going to tell their story and many people are now finally coming out. Thank you guys for always being on point and having common sense. That's why I love the chat and you guys are always number one with me. Graphic content, you guys, I need you to know we're about to get into this Epstein stuff. Let's go.
We were underage. We were little girls.
I was 16.
I was 16. I started going to him when I was like 14 turning 15.
If you think at 14, $200, that's a lot of money at 14 years old. I mean, that's a lot of money now.
She's like, oh, do you need to make any extra money? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I can give you like $200. It's this older guy in Palm Beach.
So she's describing, this is somebody that they don't even know that's being taped. This is a taped situation, and I don't know who taped it. Now, they said Jeffrey Epstein had cameras everywhere. So now he's basically taping a conversation where she's admitting that an older lady said, I know a guy that likes to get massages, and he'll pay you $200. Any idea who that lady was and why I don't think Ghislaine need to get out or have that plush place that she's at Club Fed now? Because of the victims. We talked about the victims, and that's who we're going to let speak.
He gets a lot of massages from girls, that was really.
They were recruited by someone who was adept at finding girls that would be willing to go to a house for a few $100s. And as it started out, give a man a back rub, but many cases it turned into something far worse than that, elevated to a crime, and a serious crime, in some cases sexual batteries.
My life would have been different if I would have never went to Jeffrey Epstein's house. It was just a dark turning point in my life.
On June 30th, 2008, Jeffrey Epstein, a Palm Beach multimillionaire hedge fund manager, received what might have been the most lenient plea deal for a serial sex offender in U.S. history. The Miami Herald identified over 60 of his victims, just young middle and high school girls at the time of the abuse. More than a decade later, several of them are talking for the first time about how they were molested by Epstein and believe they were betrayed by the very prosecutors who were supposed to hold Epstein accountable.
They came from fairly disadvantaged backgrounds. There was some dysfunction in their families. The lure of a lot of money was more than they were able to resist.
I went from an abusive situation to being a runaway to living in foster homes to just already being hardened by life on the streets.
The other girls that I personally know of that were coming from trailer parks, that were having gun shootings, drugs.
My mother was on drugs at the time, and she couldn't provide for me, and I was pretty much homeless.
One child would be lured over, would be paid substantial sums of money, would be offered the further inducement of being paid a bounty for anybody else that she was able to bring to Epstein. A network developed where many young girls in the same kinds of circumstance wound up being victimized.
This is what I'm talking about. I want to bring it together so we can get an understanding of how he did it, how they basically groom these girls. Because again, every time we start off one of these stories, it's always, oh, the lady told me about a massage. And who's that lady? Ghislaine. She needs to stay locked up. They shouldn't let her out. She needs more than 20 years, just like Virginia said. Keep on moving forward, because now we're going to expose part of Jeffrey Epstein's international trafficking ring, because it wasn't just going on in the United States, it was happening everywhere. Remember London, UK with Prince, Andrew, everywhere. Check it out, y'all. Let's go.
I would say it's in the thousands. I mean, he was literally
with young women and girls. For years, he abused them at will. And such were the numbers of victims Epstein exploited, he started trading them around the world. He masterminded a sex trafficking ring which enabled his rich and influential friends and associates to share in his perversion. Remarkably, those accused of complicity in this scandal include His Royal Highness, Prince Andrew. Tonight, you'll hear shocking stories from very brave women demanding justice. Among them, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who stumbled into a dark and insidious world she had no power to escape until she found sanctuary in Australia. Today, this opulent Manhattan mansion sits empty, abandoned by its owner, the disgraced and now dead Jeffrey Epstein.
It's hard. It's really hard being back here.
Yeah, we showed this yesterday. I was actually gonna go over there and just go live from the front of the location. Sorry, you guys, y'all gotta tune in because we showed that whole clip yesterday. And one thing I'm not gonna do is keep on regurgitating the same content when I got a smorgasbord of more to come. But I wanted you guys to see that content that was coming from the other accusers about the way that they got caught up into his web. We got to keep on moving forward now because we got to get over to British. Yeah, the Jeffrey Epstein accuser for Ghislaine Maxwell. Virginia is also, she was coping with a lot of trauma. We're talking about what happened to Virginia Giuffre, who basically spearheaded the case against Jeffrey Epstein. She basically is no longer with us anymore. She committed what they're calling suicide about a few months after, I think it was like 2 months ago. They're saying that she got hit by a bus and all of this stuff. But here is one of these survivors that became friends with Virginia Giuffre. And they're talking about coping with all of the trauma and everything that Virginia basically told her.
I'd like to remember Virginia as somebody who was brave, was courageous, was deeply troubled. Without her, none of what took place would have been possible.
You were a close friend of hers, and Virginia Giuffre's family said in a statement that the toll of abuse became unbearable. Was that your own impression in Virginia's last few months?
It was my impression. It has been also my own experience. And I think there's an opportunity here after her death, and perhaps even because of her death, for us to get a greater understanding of the trajectory of recovery from abuses of this type, and to learn a little bit more about how non-linear that recovery is, and how triggers come, recovery ebbs and flows. And of course, Virginia was being bullied online, and she was in the midst of trying to navigate through recovering whilst simultaneously continuing to be attacked.
This part is bad.
Bullied by who? And people saying what?
Watch. This
If
is
you
terrible.
look at her social media, you will see hundreds, even thousands of comments from people saying that she was not telling the truth, that they were glad that she had passed.
So that sucks. Now you went through all of that stuff and the stuff that mean people would do on the internet, not like these crazy trolls in my comments talking about my jacket and all of that stuff. But people can be very cruel when it comes down to how they treat one another. Lady lost her life and they're over there talking bad about her on her own social network page. Terrible situation. We got Andrew Long here who discusses explosive new Prince Andrew in the biography. This guy right here knows a whole bunch about Prince Andrew. He knows all about Virginia Giuffre. He knows all about basically when she basically said about Prince Andrew, he went behind and did all of the research and said, you know what, she's not lying. Prince Andrew really did all of the stuff that she's claiming, and he found witnesses who actually corroborated her story. So Andrew, yeah, Prince Andrew, yeah, there's people over here calling you out, buddy.
An explosive new book has reportedly left Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson feeling wary and threatened as it delves into the Duke of York's finances and relationships with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
The author, Andrew Lowney, spent 4 years researching and interviewing people for the book, which contains numerous allegations, including a physical altercation involving Prince Harry, which the Duke of Sussex denies. Andrew Lowney, it's Lowney, isn't it? Lowney joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Ed and I both received a copy of this just in the last 24 hours.
Once you start reading, you can't
My
stop.
goodness, it is packed. And what's interesting is that you spent, as you say, 4 years doing this. Presumably, were you part way through researching this when that infamous Newsnight interview was given by Prince Andrew?
No, I started just after that.
You started just...
Yes.
Well, now that you've written the book, what do you think of the claims that he made in that interview? I don't sweat, I didn't know her.
Well, I have a section in the book where I actually go through all the claims he made, showing they're all completely false. And I think the thing with Andrew is you can't believe a word he says. And I think what I think was very interesting for me was actually it backed up Virginia Giuffre's case. I was able to find new testimony of people who'd seen her with Andrew, both on the island and in London. And also the campaign against her that had been orchestrated by Andrew and others. So this idea he'd never met her is completely demolished. What was shocking was just how blatant his lies were.
Well, of course, he says he never met her, didn't know her. And also we have approached Prince Andrew for his right of reply, essentially, to the claims that you've made in your book.
So yeah, he said he never met her, said he don't know what she's talking about. That's number one. Number two, he said that's not him in the picture. That's not, somebody made that picture up. Number three, he said he does not sweat. So he's a chameleon. He's a chameleon, y'all. He's a reptile. He does not sweat. Lastly, he said he don't drink. And we done caught him with so many drinks up in his hand. Forget about it. He might as well be like, I got this drink up in my cup. Yeah, stop playing with your boy. We did the research and we're going to keep on moving forward. Now we got to get on over to Amy Farmer, who weighs in on the political fallout over the Jeffrey Epstein files. Yes, there's a lot of political fallout going on right now. This is one of the top stories that's going on in our entire world right now. I got to say probably the top story.
Jeffrey Epstein is estimated to have abused a large number of girls. The Epstein Victims Compensation Fund paid out more than $120 million to 136 survivors. Another 52 women filed and privately settled claims. Joining us now for more is Annie Farmer, who has said that she was lured by Maxwell and Epstein and sexually abused at his New Mexico ranch when she was just 16 years old.
This is why Ghislaine Maxwell does not need to get out of jail. This is called grooming. Check it out, y'all.
She was one of Epstein's only victims to have had the opportunity to confront him at his detention hearing back in 2019. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. Do your boy a favor. Y'all not giving me no super chats. Y'all don't care about the suit. Y'all don't care if I die of thirst. Go ahead and get them likes up. Please do your boy a favor. Subscribe to the channel. hit that notification bell so that you can know when we are on. You already ain't giving a guy a buck, so it's okay. Keep your dollar, but do me a favor. Come on, let's get those likes up to let other people know. Let's get those numbers up. Also, if you have not subscribed already, subscribe, become a member. Let's do it. Let's go.
We so appreciate your time. I know you've said in the past that attending that 2019 hearing was the beginning of a big spiraling ride and that you feel like you haven't gotten off. What's it been like after all this time to once again be reminded on the daily of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell?
It's been, it was unexpected this time for sure. And it has been pretty exhausting to be back on this roller coaster.
You've said that Epstein encouraged you to join him at his New Mexico ranch for an outing for other high-achieving students. But when you got there, it was just you with Epstein and Maxwell at his ranch. Tell us about Ghislaine Maxwell and your encounters with her.
Yeah, tell us.
She was initially very charming. I think really working to put me at ease, asking me questions about myself, about my life as a high school student. I found her to be someone that I wanted to like me. So, I was really trying to impress her in the way that you can as a teenager, right? Tell her things I thought would be interesting to her. And then, of course, over the course of my time, her behavior, towards me changed. And it became clear that, she was interested in grooming me towards, providing these massages for Epstein and then actually abusing me herself.
You said that her behavior changed. In what way? Was it like she was this upbeat, bubbly person and all of a sudden things got very dark?
It wasn't quite that. I'd say that there was always this facade in a way that, that what was happening was very normal. But when, at the end of the weekend, when I was getting ready to leave, she was suddenly much more cold and did not seem interested. And I felt in some way that I had disappointed her. I had not done what was expected of me.
And she is one of the people you say put you through all this horror that has now cast this shadow over your life. Today, as you know, she met with the #2 person at DOJ. What's your reaction to all this?
Yeah, I actually found out that information earlier today from a journalist. It's very disappointing that these things are happening behind closed doors without any input from the people that the government asked to come forward and speak against her in order to put her away. There were so many young girls and women that were harmed by her. And I think not just, she didn't just procure girls and women for Epstein, but she herself participated in their abuse. I think that's
she participated, willing participate, groomed them, and you can see that was their play. They would find disadvantaged girls, try to give them a couple of $100, because who's not going to be enticed behind that? They're coming from trailer parks and things of that nature. Once you get one of them to come over there, bring a friend. That's exactly how they groom people over there. Crazy over there. Crazy, y'all. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Now we got to get some more notorious Ghislaine Maxwell information. This is part 5 of the documentary that we've been following up on just to try to get as much information before they release the files. Yes, you guys, we know that they're going to release them at some point, but why not understand the groundwork, the people, the players, once we do receive the files? We'll be ahead of everybody.
Appears to have moved. By the year 2000, Ghislaine Maxwell appears to have moved to a $5 million mansion on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, about 5 blocks south of Jeffrey Epstein's mansion.
He was in her life, for sure, but she was living in her place, and he was living in his place. So they were not a couple in that sense.
I do believe she fell in love with him to the point where she wanted to marry him, and it was Epstein who did not want to marry.
At some point, their relationship became more of a business relationship where she has admitted in depositions that she managed his far-flung properties.
I hired assistants, I hired architects, I hired decorators, I hired cooks, I hired cleaners, I hired gardeners.
Ghislaine was asked if she had ever hired massage therapists for Jeffrey Epstein.
From time to time, I would visit professional spas. I would receive a massage, and if the massage was good, I would ask that man or woman if they did home visits.
Man or woman. Yeah, so she softly was admitting basically what she was doing. We got the whole full circle here, and that's probably the reason why she got them 20 years. People are saying that she's serving Jeffrey's sentence, but I don't believe that. We're going to keep on forward because now we got a new accuser that speaks at the news conference about the relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm talking about the layers just keep on coming back on this onion, and every single one of these victims are portraying and saying the same thing that he basically did to them. Everybody's saying the same thing.
Jeffrey Epstein started his targeted grooming and manipulation of me as a child when I was in New York City for a school trip. I first came into contact with an assistant of Epstein's while on a high school drama club field trip to New
Who's the assistant?
York City. I was invited to his home.
Don't let her out.
His assistant took a photo of me and then later reached out to me inviting me to Epstein's ranch. I only knew Jeffrey Epstein for 5 days. During a trip to Zorro Ranch, his massive compound surrounded by government land in the New Mexico desert.
Who we got to get rid of, Liberty? Just say their name.
Epstein took my sexual innocence in front of a wall of framed photographs of him shaking hands and smiling with celebrities and political leaders.
Okay.
I was only 15 years old. After, he wanted to talk with me about what had just been my first sexual experience and directed me to take time to myself that night to cry. He said that would be beneficial to my growth. After this, we had a long talk about my future goals. I told him that I wanted to go to college to study biochemistry. He said that he wanted to give me money for college. He asked me how much money I thought he should give me. At 15 years old, living in northern Michigan with my mother, stepfather, and grandfather, I had no idea how to respond to a billionaire who had just raped me. I was being asked to quantify in monetary terms what had been taken from me.
Jesus Christ.
When I agreed to $5,000, he smiled and wrote a check made out to the college I so desperately wanted to attend and was not sure my parents could afford. During my trip to New Mexico, I had flown on his jet, which I later learned had been nicknamed the Lolita Express. While he was giving me a tour of the bedroom, he told me to get down and feel the carpeted floors of the room. He then asked if I noticed anything special about the floor, and I responded that it felt very soft. He laughed and said it was because the floors in the bedroom were foam mattress floors, because he liked to have girls sleep around him on the floor while he slept in the bed. I remember wanting to ask him why he would want that. However, I restrained myself out of fear of sounding like the child I was. Later, when I chose a seat on the jet, Jeffrey told me that is where his good friend Bill Clinton always chooses to sit, as if to reassure me of the elite normalcy of that type of behavior. After I returned to Michigan from Zorro Ranch, I was contacted by one of Jeffrey Epstein's assistants and invited to Epstein's Island, where I was told Prince Andrew, among others, would be a guest. I declined the invitation out of fear. I had only experienced a glimpse of Jeffrey Epstein's world, but it left me with residual trauma which seriously impacted the trajectory of my life from that moment on.
So this lady ain't had no money, man. She was a little girl. They was going around finding people in trailer parks in terrible situations and giving them money. He's a billionaire. He got what he deserved. And Ghislaine, do not let that lady out of prison. Send her back to maximum security. She need to be told, oh, all they giving me is grits and one potato or what. That's what you need to have in hard jail labor for what you did, homegirl, for all of this stuff that you did to these people. I'm going to stack the deck on you too because I got a gang more. Y'all can go ahead and bounce, but y'all going to miss a lot because I got it stacked right here. Let's go. Jeffrey Epstein speaking footage, and we got 80 I don't even know what this is, and I'm just going to play it right now. I'm kind of tight right now thinking about her and how they just letting her take advantage right now because people are older now and they trying to throw it up under the bus or whatever like that. Oh, this is that footage when he tried to plead the fifth and all of that stuff. Watch this narcissist.
Would you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the
Just
matter
would
now
punch you
pending will be the
straight
truth,
in
the
your
whole
mouth.
truth,
If
and
you was
nothing but the
alive,
truth?
Yes, ma'am.
boom, straight in your mouth.
Would you please state your full name? I'm
All
Jeffrey
your teeth.
Edward Epstein,
All your
and my
teeth.
residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Do you maintain any other residences presently?
I have vacation homes in New Mexico, Palm Beach, New York, and Paris.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
What was the crime of which you were convicted?
Two counts, one soliciting prostitution and procuring a minor for prostitution.
Over 60 of them, and they gave you a sweetheart deal.
Did you in fact commit those acts?
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
Yeah, I bet
How
you
many
are.
times have you solicited a minor for prostitution?
Same answer.
How many times have you solicited a minor for prostitution in the state of Florida?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited a minor for prostitution in the Virgin Islands?
Same answer.
That is, you are invoking your Fifth Amendment.
Yes,
right?
Yes, Mr. Scroll.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in New York?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in New Mexico?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in Paris?
Same answer.
Yes.
Have you ever solicited a minor for prostitution
yes.
anywhere at any time?
Again, I'm going to assert my right.
Yes. That's
Did
what
you
I'm
ever?
saying.
We're going to go off record.
So you are terminating the deposition at this time?
Recess the deposition.
What college did you attend?
Cooper Union.
And did you get a degree from Cooper Union?
No, sir.
How many years were you in college?
I believe 2.
What'd you study?
Physics.
Well, isn't it true that you were a teacher at the Dalton School in New York after college? It's just unheard of. It's just an unbelievable scheme to have kept going for that long of a period of time. Do you consider yourself to be bisexual?
No.
Okay. In any event, you did develop a sexual relationship with Leslie Wexner at some point in time. Is that true?
No.
Mr.
Yeah.
Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females?
Objection. Harassing. Argumentative.
Harassing?
Are you kidding?
No, I mean, I don't feel like I'm divulging any secrets here, right?
You're already guilty of
Move
it.
to strike.
Mr. Epstein, were you sexually abused as a minor?
Again?
Were you sexually abused as a minor?
You know, I'd like to respond to all your, if any, questions seem to be relevant, but I would like to respond to any relevant question at this time. However, my attorneys have counseled me that I cannot provide answers to the questions relevant to this lawsuit today. I must accept their advice or risk losing my Sixth Amendment right to effective representation.
So basically, this is when he gets up and walks away, basically, and a whole bunch of other crap starts happening or whatever. So I wanted you guys, anytime I can, get you the information from the horse's mouth. That's what I'm going to do, especially those severe questions after you heard all those accusations. If you was accused of any one of those things and somebody said that about you, I'll be on the stand going crazy. Who the fuck are you talking about? You get the fuck out of here talking about I did some it like that. Are you stupid? You wouldn't be up there going crazy if you know that you didn't do that. Come on, y'all. Bull crap. We're going to keep on moving forward right now. Yeah, we got to go on over to Florida, Coconut Grove, because we got these condo owners that's, they about to get kicked out of this condo. There's a situation going on with these condos where they buy up all of the condos around your unit, and then they get together with everybody and they say, hey, time to go. They kick you up out of there. So there's a situation going on with these big high-rise condos over in Coconut Grove right now. I don't know if you guys know about it. I don't know if you guys have retirement homes or anything like that. I need you to look out for situations like this because it's happening in Florida a lot.
Owners in one South Florida condo community say they are uncertain whether they can stay in their homes after developers have bought up the majority of the property.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri has their story and why an expert says that condo buyouts are a growing trend in South Florida.
This is my house. This is my everything. This is everything I've worked for.
This one-bedroom condo in Miami's Coconut Grove neighborhood has been home for Oscar LaRue for 25 years.
And this is my little escape from the troubles of the world when I, leave and come home and relax.
But Oscar says he hasn't been able to relax in recent months because he's not sure how much longer he'll be able to keep his home.
It seems as if Mass Capital initially wanted to buy out the building.
Bayshore Park Condo sits a block from the water on South Bayshore Drive. Built in the 1960s, it's walking distance from some of the Grove's most popular attractions. County records show developers through an LLC now own 30 of the building's 39 units, as well as a vacant lot directly behind the condo. It's a move that's made headlines in the real estate world.
The emails happened where they were saying that they can terminate, they had the right to terminate the building.
LaRue says owners were copied on this email in June from an attorney representing the developers who are now majority owners. It asks the association's attorney at that time to acknowledge some of the hard facts, specifically the condo's termination provision, adding, "Our client has an ownership interest in over 75% of the units. All current members of the board have consistently sought to block termination." Just last week, LaRue says the developers reached out to him with an offer. So far, he has not responded.
Everybody's, I think, in a state of panic and fear.
Current Florida law requires a vote of at least 80% in order to terminate a condominium, but that doesn't necessarily apply to all condos.
It depends on a lot of factors.
Attorney Carolina Shear is board certified in condominium law and is not affiliated with Bayshore Park. We asked her, how can owners know their rights?
It's basically what law applies to your condominium, and that depends on what language is stated in your declaration.
The declaration is the condo's governing document.
It's known as Kaufman language, and it's a simple phrase, as amended from time to time, which means your condo will always follow the most current state law. In the case of Bayshore Park, Shear says the declaration doesn't have that language. Instead, it has other provisions.
So they're able to do what they're doing now and instrument those movements, and that's probably what they did as they researched that building. Some smart legal real estate lawyer said, "Hey, these units right here have certain particular things that we can actually work around. You guys got to buy out the majority of the building. Then we're going to go after the people that's there, and then we're going to move them out." With the ultimate goal of what? Renovating the building, probably selling it for more money and doing what they do because they don't care about the people that live there. Why would they? Also, you guys got to look out for anything like that in rental agreements and other situations too. I just wanted to put some fat on your brain in that category. We got to stay in Florida right now because we got this one woman, not Wonder Woman, one woman who poses as a nurse. She treated this can't be right, 40,000 patients without a license, actually was about to get a raise until they did research before they gave her the raise and found out that she never had the credentials. Lord have mercy. Come on, y'all, let's stay in Florida right now because we always got some news coming out of Florida. I want you to hear about this nurse right here that was practicing without a license.
All right, so thank you for coming. This is about the arrest of a lady that was practicing being a registered nurse without a license. We believe that there are over 4,400 patients that she was in one manner or another that was involved in care at Advent Health Palm Coast, which is our newest hospital in Flagler County. Autumn Bardisa, as we understand it, was graduated from Rasmussen University in March 2022. She then took a state/federal licensing exam and failed. She then was hired on July 3rd of 2023 by Advent Health to be a advanced nurse tech working under a registered nurse. When she applied, she gave a nursing license number, and they noticed when they checked that the last name was different. And she said, "Well, I just got married."
Okay.
So they congratulated her on getting married, asked her to provide a copy of the marriage certificate, which she never did. And she then became an RN, and they were actually, by using this assumed last name and the license number of a licensed RN. And she never provided the documentation of her marriage and the change in the last name. And frankly, from our investigation, that probably fell through the cracks at Advent Health. She was up for a promotion to a charge nurse, and that triggered a review of her documentation, at which time they determined that it was fraudulent, that she had assumed the identity of a legally licensed nurse. Ironically, who also worked for Advent Health, but not here, in another South Florida, as I understand it. And that started an internal investigation by them. They fired her. 2 months later, they notified us of the incident, which began a 7-month investigation. And the reason it took 7 months is you have to remember that we are trying to thread the needle on HIPAA laws. And so we have to have victims. We don't know who the victims are. And we also have to...
You see what happened. I'm not going to drag you guys through the rest of that. I wanted you to see the audacity. I wanted you also to see how the fact that she slipped through those cracks. I want you guys to be on point with your healthcare providers, basically. I want you to be extra and extra and extra. Go into their office. Hey, your name is such and such, huh? How long you went to school? Oh, yeah. I would do it if they feel some way about it. I don't know why, because if you really did it, you wouldn't have any problem talking about it. Y'all need to check, and double check, especially with things like that. Excuse me, because I said 40,000, but 4,000 is 4,000 too much. 4,000 people, that's too many people for her to have handled. Double tap that screen to get those likes up, because y'all already know we are, yes, number one on this thing as far as when it comes to 6 to the 7 o'clock hour. Also, I want you guys to see this right here, because this is one of my favorite clips of the entire day. Give you that good feeling and that good spirit. So I hope you guys like animals, because we're going to get into this dolphin. She's going to teach her calf a special trick. She's teaching her calf a special trick. I think this is a beautiful story. If you don't like animals, I understand if you guys want to leave, but all of our animal lovers, this is for you. Check this out. In time, y'all. And y'all know he didn't do it perfectly, but that's how kids do stuff. You know how your kid come in the room like, Mommy, watch this. Mommy, watch this. Trying to do that little dance that they ain't good at, that they watch you do, but you know they trying. So you got to give them credit where the credit is due. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And if y'all trying to make some money, all y'all got to do is hit that link in the description, and y'all be able to make up to $650 today. You guys will make some money, and I'll make some money too. Also, if you guys got a business, you might be a mobile barber, you might be a detailer, you might be a landscaper. I don't know what you do, but send us over your promotions, because all of those people, those 40,000 plus people, they'll be able to see your promo, and you might be able to make some money too. That's right. Send it over in that 1080 by 1080. And you know we're going to put it up on the post area so you can get some more business. Where you want us to send it to, Boogotti? I want you to send it to bridgethisllc@gmail.com. That's bridgethisllc@gmail.com, 1080 by 1080. Let me know what's going on with your business, and we gonna put it up so you can get it popping. We are so turned up right now because we're coming up on our last 3 locations for our talent show, which is the Show Your Talent show. Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Whatever one of those boroughs that you're from, you could make $250 when we step up for the Show Your Talent search. A week and a half ago, we just did an event with DJ Don Dada, and we found a great comedian at the Throgs Next Superstore. So what we're gonna do is we pull up, have the DJ, whatever type of talent that you have, you show us. If we like it, boom, you make $250 in the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, or Staten Island. And then once we get the finals all together, there's one location where we all come together, where one person is going to be able to win $1,000. That's right, you guys. We've been paying out. We got the video clips for it. I'm the host of the event. That's right, your boy BOOGOTTINYC. And it's sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. Anybody that wants to be a part of the talent show, all you got to do is go over to the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Go down to the mailing list, Boom, subscribe to the mailing list, and that's it. We'll let you know the next location. We're trying to get enough people together before we get the location, because you guys remember the last 2 times when we did this, nobody really showed up. So I'm being smart about it. I'm making sure that we fatten up the people as far as like the amount of people. Then we're going to get the location to make sure that we got a good event that's going to turn out. Plus, we're going to be in control of the music, so we don't have those problems anymore. And yes, we're going to keep on moving forward with the Show Your Talent search, because I can't wait to find out what talent you have, and what talent you have. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all could have went anywhere, but do me a favor real quick before we say that. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. If you have not become a member, let's do that right now. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you guys can know when we're on. That's right. Like I said, we ain't trying to get no dough out you, because we know it's hard out here for a pimp. But what we try to do is get those likes up, because we feel like we deserve them. Thank you so much. Today is Monday, my favorite day of the week. Why? Because I do business, and they got to pick up that phone when you call on Monday. There's no, oh, well, it's Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Oh, it's Friday. Let's do it on Monday. No, it's Monday. What's going on with that business? Let's get it done. And that's how you guys could be. You know what? Like I said, it's always going to be a problem. But as long as the man upstairs give me another breath to keep on banging at that nail and give me an opportunity to push for that solution, I'm going to do that. So my saying is, problems present opportunities. That's how I look at it. God gave me another day to bang at this nail so I can get it right. Thank you, God. And that's why I keep on doing this show. Yes, I get frustrated sometimes. We all do. But I want to thank you guys, because every time I come here, I feel charged up and thankful, because anybody would tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Liberty and Justice. I appreciate you, Lan Yen Bueno. I appreciate you, Batty Lynn. I appreciate you, Casey. Thank you guys. Until tomorrow, y'all know what it is. Y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all know what it is. Get 'em. Peace. Ha ha. One.